Hey, what's up? It's your girl Jasenia, aka Jungle Soul, and I have been through some things the past couple of months. I have been challenged, I have been tested, I've had to move unexpectedly. I got a job, I lost a job, I've been sick, I've had a ton of dental work done. Just so many things have been thrown at me, and through that I have learned some lessons, some big ones, and I would love to share them with you today. The first lesson came from me having to unexpectedly move from Long Beach. I love Long Beach so much. I lived there for 5 years, and I traveled and I moved a lot in my 20s, and Long Beach was genuinely the first and only place that I truly felt like I belong here. So when I found this place and felt this real sense of belonging, I was like, this is it for me. I'm gonna live here for the rest of my life. Wrong. The universe had other plans for me. Life had another plan. I had so many visions and plans of all these things throughout the years that I wanted to do for my community in Long Beach. And I was really good with that image, and I felt secure in the legacy that I was gonna leave through that contribution. And then we needed to move. We went from being by the ocean to now being in the middle of the desert. And so I was removed from that community in Long Beach. And so that really made me start to question legacy, and what does that even mean? And what does it mean if our plans completely change with what we thought our legacy might be? For me, I thought that I was going to serve Long Beach for the rest of my life, and I still will. That's not the end of me in Long Beach, but I mean, I really thought that I was going to be in that community forever. And I'm not anymore. I'm not there. So for me, it really made me question and analyze my ideas about legacy, and that legacy doesn't always come from our work. It doesn't always have to come from the big things. For me, I'm always like, what's the big thing that I'm going to contribute? Instead, it made me think of legacy as my interactions with my neighbors and my neighborhood when I was there. Legacy is how I will be remembered. Was I a positive person when I was going through the grocery store and talking to the cashier? Did I care about lifting that person up? Legacy now has become every interaction to me. Every person that I come into contact with, I see that as I can make an impact right now. I can be positive right now. To this person, I may never see them again, but when we are positive with each other, and when we are mindful of our effect on other people, that has an effect. That is my big lesson on legacy. It is how we're showing up every day. It's how we're going to be remembered in every interaction. The second really big lesson during this transition is that people want to help. So asking for help is something that I have been working on in general, but during this move specifically, we had to move so quickly. All of this happened so quickly, and I knew I need more help than ever. I need to ask for help at any time. Is the time, it's now. And so for the first time, I've moved so much in my life, and a lot of the times I would do it in the dead of night, wouldn't tell anybody, and just would be like, oh, I live in New York now. Oh, I moved back to California, and that would be it. I would tell people after the fact, but this time I was like, that's not gonna fly. That is not gonna fly, because I need help. So I kept people in the loop more than literally I ever have before. I was just like, hey, just so you know, this is what's happening. Here's my life update. And people really appreciated that. They said, thank you for updating me. But not only that, when people heard what I was going through and how quickly things were changing, they would say, is there anything that I can do to help? Usually what I would do is say, oh, thank you so much, I'll let you know. And then never ask for anything. This time, what I did instead was, thank you so much for the offer. I know I will need help at some point. I don't know what that is right now, but I'll let you know. So I kind of kept a mental record of who was just offering their help, and it was a lot of people. I was really grateful. And so when something came up, like, oh, this is really overwhelming to me. Packing was so overwhelming to me to do so quickly. So I reached out to a couple of my really organized people, and I'm like, I know that they can help me with this. So I reached out to 3 different people who had already offered their help. I said, hey, I need help packing. Would you be down? And they were so amazing, and they came over and they helped me pack. And the amazing thing was, aside from receiving all of this help that I was so grateful for, it helped just relieve so much stress. I'm like, I'm not in this alone. This is amazing. But aside from that, after they were done helping me, they thanked me. They said, thank you for letting me help you. And that was just such a big, like, light bulb moment. Like, you're thanking me for letting you help me? And it was just a huge realization for me that people want to help. They want to help. It's not an inconvenience. I think a lot of us who struggle with asking for help or receiving help, we think that we're inconveniencing other people. But think about yourself. Like, for me, I love helping other people. So I do feel good when I help other people. And it's just funny that it took this scenario to make me realize that people like helping me too. And that was a beautiful lesson of staying in contact with people, keeping people updated, not just saying, oh yeah, I'm okay. No, I'm struggling. Like, let's be real. We're friends, we're close. No, I'm not okay right now. I am struggling with X, Y, and Z. Can you help me out? And they're like, down. Yes, they can. Never. I've moved so much in my life. Never have I had so much help, and it made the whole process more fun and easier. It took so much of the responsibility and the weight off of me and my partner, because we did not have to do it all by ourselves. Ask for help, receive help. People, the real ones, they want to help you. This was probably my biggest lesson through this process, through this transition, was how important creativity is. And that might seem like a really random lesson to learn from, like, moving, but I'll tell you why. So I have always been an extremely creative person. I love creating in this way. I love creating for my business. I love helping people, but I'm also a poet and a filmmaker, and I just have a lot of different creative interests. I love to create, but creativity will often in my mind take a backseat to what I'm doing here, because I'm like, I'm helping people. This is, in my business, I get to genuinely watch people's lives transform. And that is really powerful, and it is so fulfilling to me to be a part of that. So my creativity, all my projects can kind of get pushed to the side because I will see them as not as important as doing this work, as serving other people. But it was in the process of moving that I realized I keep turning to creativity to help me get through this. Not only am I turning to my own creativity, writing, trying to process everything. That's a lot of how I process life is through poetry or writing or journaling. And so that was extremely helpful to me. And also turning to other people's creative work. So music has been so huge for me my whole life. I love music, and music has genuinely felt like it was saving my life so many times. This was one of those times. There were times when I was so full of anger and frustration and rage with everything that was happening, and I just needed to scream to System of a Down in the car with my partner, and we would just scream, and that was helpful. That helped me process that anger. It helped me do something with it so that it didn't just fester and live inside of my body, which is what happens to our emotions when we can't express them. And then listening to Kali Uchis and remembering that life is beautiful. Life is beautiful. Don't get wrapped up in this one moment, and start believing that this is all that is ever going to be. Life is beautiful. It will go on. Watching movies, being able to just unplug and watch The Big Lebowski, which is one of my favorite movies ever, and just allowing myself to just be and not be wrapped up in the chaos of what was going on, but just genuinely unplugging and allowing myself to be, and just watching that movie, watching Uptown Girls, just watching some old favorite movies. Those things helped me get through what has been a really tumultuous, stressful part of the year for me. And I started thinking, what would I do if these people had never created this work? System of a Down, I have been listening to them for like 20 years, which is so wild. I started listening to them when I was 10, and back then they helped me process anger, they helped me express my anger, they helped me. And I think about, like, what if they had never released these albums? What would I do? They have been an integral part of my life. So it really made me open my eyes to how important creativity is, because it not only helps me, and I know other people, process what's going on in life, but it also just helps life be more endurable. Life can be hard, right? Am I right? Like, life can be really hard. It can be messy. It can be tricky. What do we turn to in those times? Music, art, poetry, film. Is that just me? I don't think so. I don't think it is. I think that other people's creations have just helped me so much. I know that has to be true for other people, because I know if I experience something, other people do too. So that was so eye-opening for me and very needed, because that part of my soul, of my being, just I haven't been paying enough attention to it, and I need to. So I'm really excited to be in this new era, this desert era of mine, of just embracing this adventure, but integrating all of these lessons, especially the one about creativity. I want to really show up for myself in my creative life. I want to be seen and show other people my creative work more than I have. And beyond that, I'm really excited to integrate it into my business, because as an entrepreneur, you and your business are just so interwoven. So I'm excited to have more offerings that are centered around creativity, because I know that if I am benefiting so much from this, I know that I can help others as well. Those are my lessons. Those have been the blessings through this time, through this transition. I want to thank you so much for being here with me, genuinely. And I hope you stick around. If you like this, please like the video, comment with anything that resonated. I am a life coach, I'm a yoga teacher, I'm a meditation guide. I'm all about empowerment, self-love, creativity, healing. If that sounds good to you, if you want to stick around, I would love to have you here. I hope that this served you in some way, and I will see you next time. Bye.